On a cold February night in 2007, a chilling distress call crackled over the radio waves. The voice on the other end, barely audible through the static, but it was pleading for help and then fell silent. And hours later, rescuers found a kayak floating upside down in the frigid waters of the Tasman Sea. The man who had been inside, gone without a trace. And what happened to
Andrew McAuley,
a fearless adventurer who was just days away from achieving the impossible? And what secrets does the haunting final transmission hold? This is a story of ambition, mystery, and a disappearance that defies explanation. On a bright February morning in 2007, a man stood on the shoreline of Tasmania in Australia, staring out at the vast and unforgiving Tasman Sea. This wasn't an ordinary man, nor was this an ordinary journey. The figure, dressed in weathered gear and standing next to a kayak, was Andrew McCully, a seasoned adventurer who thrived on danger. But what no one could have known at the time was that this would be the last time Andrew was ever seen alive. He was born in 1968, and Andrew always had been drawn to the edges of human endurance. A native Australian, Andrew didn't just climb mountains, he sought out the most treacherous peaks of them all. He didn't just paddle in rivers, he crossed seas. His feats were nothing short of legendary among adventure enthusiasts, and his thirst for the unknown seemed insatiable. Andrew had already completely jaw-dropping expeditions, such as climbing the icy peaks of the Himalayas and kayaking across unthinkable distances. But his ultimate dream, the one challenge that would solidify his place in history, was to cross the Tasman Sea alone in a kayak. Now, this is a feat so dangerous that only a handful of people had ever attempted it, and none under the same grueling conditions Andrew had planned. Now, by the time he launched his kayak in January 2007, Andrew was well prepared, or so it seemed. He had spent years meticulously planning his 1,600-kilometer journey from Tasmania to New Zealand. His kayak was specially modified, equipped with a watertight sleeping pod, a GPS locator, a satellite phone, and even emergency flares. He'd practiced capsizing and self-rescue drills countless times. Every detail was accounted for. But no amount of time and preparation could fully account for the sheer power and unpredictability of the Tasman Sea. And for nearly a month, Andrew battled relentless waves, freezing temperatures, and the isolation. Updates from his satellite phone painted a picture of a determined but yet exhausted man. Friends and family cheered him on from afar as he inched closer to his goal. And by February 9th, Andrew was just 80 kilometers away from New Zealand, a remarkable achievement. But then, everything went silent. You see, at 7:15 p.m., maritime authorities received a chilling, static-filled radio transmission. A garbled voice, barely audible, called out,
"I need help!"
The message was incomprehensible, but one thing was clear. Something had gone terribly wrong. So authorities scrambled to locate Andrew, but their efforts were delayed. Some believed the call to actually be a hoax, while others struggled to pinpoint his location due to the poor signal. And as hours turned into a full day, the search intensified. And then, on February 10th, Andrew's kayak was found, floating upside down in the frigid waters of the Tasman Sea. The discovery of the kayak only deepened the mystery. The craft was damaged but still intact, and Andrew's emergency equipment was missing. Where was his GPS locator? Had he used his emergency pod? Questions piled up faster than the answers could come in. And coroner Michael Savage later revealed that Andrew had been regularly reporting his position via radio before the distress call. So it was speculated that his kayak had capsized during the night, and in his attempt to escape, Andrew may have become separated from his equipment. The most heartbreaking detail? Experts believe he was mere hours from reaching land when disaster struck. And the delay in launching a full-scale rescue operation came under intense scrutiny. Some wondered if Andrew's life could have been saved had the distress call been taken a lot more seriously. But with no body and no concrete evidence, the truth of what happened in those final moments remains a haunting mystery. Andrew McCully's story didn't end with his disappearance. His life and incredible journey inspired the 2008 documentary Solo, Lost at Sea. The film features archival footage, interviews with Andrew's loved ones, and a haunting recreation of his final voyage. And through this film, viewers get a glimpse of the man behind the legend, a man who was willing to risk everything for the thrill of the unknown. And to this day, Andrew McCully's disappearance remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in the world, especially of extreme adventure. He was an extraordinary man who dared to chase his dreams across the most dangerous waters on Earth. And yet, his story serves as a reminder of the fragile line between ambition and tragedy. Now, I want you guys to understand that Friday at 4 p.m. will be the main time I'm uploading from now on. And I hope that gives everybody enough time to watch it on the weekend. But this Friday in particular, well, this story is truly incredible. I mean, believe me, if you like heart-pounding suspense and thrilling true stories, you are absolutely going to love it. So make sure to like this right now and come back every Friday. Also, if you want to continue slipping into a mind that's not your own, there's this case with a Ouija board, and it might just be one of the most crazy real-life stories in existence. Make sure to check it out right now. I'll leave it on the right side of the screen. It was one of the 10 episodes in Hell Month, and if you haven't watched all of Hell Month, make sure to check that out as well. That's all I got for you guys today. I'll see you next time. Cheers. But wait, I gotta remind you guys, because I think a lot of you forgot. Right now, also on podcast, go to Mystery Files with Mystery, mysterious true crime and paranormal stories. Search it anywhere, whether it's Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, and look at all these stories. Some of them are exclusive, like the Owen Hart one, or this one right here, The Sinister Creators of the Fourth World. You gotta check this out. Believe me, you will not be disappointed. Alright, that's really it. Cheers.